show. Amy Knight is standing by. She is a Russian expert on their political system and their history. Amy, always good to see you. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
This victory, quote unquote, what does it mean now for Russia?
You know, nobody's really surprised that President Putin had such a victory. As you pointed out, there was no opposition. The anti-war candidate, who actually was quite popular, was not permitted to be on the ballot. And of course, you know, the Russian people are fed a steady stream of state-sponsored propaganda. They don't have access to independent media. So it doesn't surprise me that Mr. Putin was able to achieve such a success in the election.
What does it mean for, let's say, the war in Ukraine, Amy? What do you think?
Well, you know, this is interesting because Putin really staked this re-election on the war, and he appealed to Russians' sense of patriotism, and said you've got to vote because we're in a tough spot, and so on and so forth. So I think that a lot of the quite a bit of the support comes from people who want Russia, to win the war against Ukraine. The problem is that this war could drag out for a very long time, and there are significant signs that Russians are becoming war weary. And also, Putin has avoided taking certain steps until after he was elected. Steps that are going to be unpopular. For example, he's going to have to issue another decree on mobilization because the soldiers who are at the front have been there too long. There have been huge losses. Up to 90,000 soldiers have died. And mobilization, this is when people are forced to go to the front, will not be popular at all. And also, Putin has announced that he's going to raise taxes. The Russian central bank will probably stop supporting the ruble, so it will fall further in value. And this is going to all affect the economic well-being of ordinary Russians. So I think that, and then, of course, there's always the possibility that if the U.S. Does go ahead and contribute more to Ukraine's war effort, that could mean that the Ukrainian forces will be a lot more powerful. So all of this means that Putin really faces an uncertain future.
Is there any real opposition, though, to him? You think of these numbers here, 87% of the vote, and some of those other candidates getting just a couple of percentage points here or there. The Russian authorities try to stamp out opposition as soon as they find it. And you talked about, state media being pro-Putin and certainly pro-Putin regime as well. So is there much of a grassroots effort within Russia, Amy, as far as you can discern, that would actually be anti-Putin?
Yeah, unfortunately, the real anti-Putin force and the Democrats are abroad, and they're not in Russia because, as what happened with Navalny shows, with Alexei Navalny, it can be very dangerous right now to mount any kind of a protest. I don't think we really have a feel for how firm that support for Putin is, however. And I would say that they're probably, because he is a dictator and because people are not allowed to express their opinions and it isn't a democratic society, I would suspect that there probably is considerable amount of unspoken opposition. And of course, it would only be ignited if something really big happened to undermine the president. But I think gradually, again, this war could ultimately be Putin's undoing.
Amy, I appreciate you taking the time, as always, to join us here on CTV News in Canada. Give us your thoughts on on Russia and, of course, the latest election now.
Thank you.
Amy Knight.